Our next question sent to CornyDriveThru@gmail.com from Charlie in Starkville, Mississippi.
Of course.
Hi, Jim. Cesaro just filed for the trademark CSRO, all in caps.
Oh, boy.
What are your thoughts on Cesaro filing for this new trademark? And does CSRO pass the name test?
No, it doesn't. No, it fucking doesn't. That's like that goof Enzo Amore. He fucking gets fired and he changes his name from ENZO to NZO. What the fuck? Are you going to trade on your 15 minutes of fame in the big company for the rest of your life, going out into high school gyms and bars and flea markets as a former WWE star under a slightly similar presumed name? Or are you going to be somebody different? Figure out, be who you've always wanted to be and make it work. And CSRO is not only playing on the name that he's had on that TV where he was presented as a guy in the middle of the pack. He wasn't sucking the hind teat, but he wasn't the fucking top beagle. He was in there in the middle somewhere. And now he's just going to go out and trade on that. It's the same thing. Poor Nick Dinsmore that did the goddamn Eugene thing on Independence afterwards instead of establishing himself as somebody. And these
and
confusingly...
Same thing, too, where he couldn't call himself Eugene, so it had to be like U, the letter U, and then
U-Gene. Yeah, it's just... no. That's somebody else's creative. You don't own it. That's not you. Be you. Be who you want to be and make it work. That's why I said the first thing I heard, Cesaro ought to sit back for 6 months, let people forget about the way he's been used, and come up with a dynamic new presentation for him that magnifies all of his strong points, eliminates any weak points, and is something that he can get over fresh that he's going to own. Or he and everybody else that does this can just act like, oh, well, now I can get booked in FanFest as long as they remember I used to be in the WWF. Fuck it. Do your own shit. Be your own person. That's to Claudio and everybody else. Fuck this trying to retread these copyrighted gimmicks that weren't very good to begin with.
Well, I don't think with him it's as much about the gimmick. It's more about the name recognition, right? Because that's the only reason you would do something that almost sounds like CSRO. Sounds almost like Cesaro.
How many people you know with the last name Hitler to begin with these days? And if there were any, you think they'd name their kid Adolf?
No.
There's big name recognition on that name, right?
In fact, the name Adolf died after Hitler.
You ain't shitting. Adolf Rupp was born before Adolf Hitler.
Harpo Marx's real name is Adolf. He changed it.
There you go.
Yeah.
And see, they were, well, as a matter of fact, that doesn't count either because he was using that name on Broadway in the 20s. Adolf Hitler was a goddamn pimply-faced kid. But the point is, it didn't work for you to where you were before. Be someone else. Be yourself. Be what you can own. And you can start and you can augment and you can change and you can tweak and you can whatever. I mean, that wasn't a problem when I got into business because nobody trademarked anything, but also unless the booker had a specific gimmick for you, it was up to you what your name was. It was up to you how you dressed or how you worked or how you talked or whatever. And you know, and sometimes you worked and sometimes you didn't work. Sugar Bear Harris didn't work, but Kamala did. So he went whole hog on that. But it's not like that he couldn't go and be Kamala anywhere in the world he wanted to be once he became Kamala, because then he was Kamala. And the promoters didn't trademark shit. They want, if you could draw them some money, then go and become a bigger star and come back and draw them some more money. That was great. So now, you know, people are trying to cling on to this thing just because they've had notoriety in a company. Well, if you've had that kind of notoriety, It's, The Undertaker leaving, I would suggest change nothing if possible. Stone Cold Steve Austin leaving, change nothing if possible. Enzo, Cesaro, Eugene, change everything you can fucking change.